Welcome back, and thank you for joining A Shark's Perspective. I am Kenneth Shark Kinney, keynote speaker, strategist, and your Chief Shark Officer. From where inside does your energy come from within you? Motivation is important to all of us, whether we're in sales or any other field, but it's especially important when considering what gets you up and what keeps you and sustains you. What's going to give you that jolt in whatever it is in life that you are selling. Larry Long Jr. is a speaker, author, and the Chief Energy Officer of LLJR Enterprises. And on this episode, we'll discuss software sales, finding that energy that drives you, the failures we've all achieved that we need to admit in our stories, going free 99 to being a paid speaker, lots of cold calls, how sales leaders have to consider both quotas and caring about their sales reps, ankle surgery and asking the right questions, the rah-rah-rah style, poet laureate Billy Ocean, microphones, baseball and golf, terrapins, and a lot more. So let's tune in to a high-energy turtle with a high-energy shark on this episode of A Shark's Perspective. All right, well, Larry, welcome to A Shark's Perspective. Tell us, if you will, a little bit about your background and your career today.
Oh, goodness, Shark. I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you so much. Larry Long Jr., CEO, and that's Chief Energy Officer of LLJR Enterprises. We focus on providing keynote speeches, coaching, training, emceeing, you name it. But my journey has been varied. I spent most of my career in software sales as a sales rep, as well as a sales leader. And then taking it back, I played baseball at University of Maryland, Go Turf. So it's been quite the ride, quite the adventure, sometimes misadventure to get to where I'm at today.
Now, terrapins are turtles, right?
That's right.
Not exactly a lot of energy.
It depends.
You're the excited turtle. There you go.
We're like the Ninja Turtles. We bring a ton of energy.
Exactly. We've gotten to know each other through professional speaking. You got into it a little full-time before I did. But what made you make that jump? Was there a message you wanted to tell? Was it the opportunity to speak on stages, share a story? What was it for you?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Shark. I've been speaking my whole life, but normally it got me sent to detention. And once I got into corporate America and I realized that speaking was a form of helping people, and generally I was helping people internal, but then I started to get requests to speak external to sales teams. When you're making 150 cold calls a day, and you can do it with a smile, and then you can help lead a team to do it with a smile and to stay motivated even when you're getting beat down, word gets around. And the opportunities that I had just kept coming. And I never realized that I could get paid for it. I did it for free 99 for ages. And then I met a coach, Dr. Kevin Schneider, who said, Larry, respectfully, are you stupid? Or are you dumb? When I do corporate, they write me a check and there's a few zeros at the end. You're just giving it away. So I told him, hey, it's okay. I got a full-time job. But then my wife said, hey, baby, you need to give him a ring because that's where you need to be. That's what you need to be doing. And once he and I connected, that was all she wrote.
Well, so your focus is on sales. Tell us a little bit more about your sales background. What kind of software sales were you doing?
Oh, goodness. I started off selling to CPAs, certified public accountants, and they get paid based off of time. If you meet with your accountant, they're sending you an invoice for their time. I was cold calling CPA offices to get their attention to look at this software program that helped turn the numbers from the income statement, the balance sheet, into a written narrative to help accountants have conversations and really help their business owners. Now, I'll tell you, making 150 cold calls a day, when I first started, I think I had one sign up in my first 770 plus calls. So that was the biggest slump that I've ever experienced. That's a lot of strikeouts. And what I learned is that when I told my story of being a failed small business owner. I used to own an indoor baseball and softball academy that went under because we didn't understand the numbers that mattered. We knew batting averages and home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, but the income statement, the balance sheet, the debits, the credits, the statement of cash flows, woo, that was like French. And no parlez-vous français on this side. So being able to share my story with accountants, they got it. Hey, do you ever work with small business owners whose eyes glaze over when you start going through the financial statements? They're like, of course. Well, would you like to connect with those dummies? I mean, those clients to help them better understand? Of course, because those are now billable hours. So what I learned is by sharing my story, it really captured their attention like, I can relate. I can see the opportunity to add more value and therefore make more money. Tell me more. So it was just intriguing to see how no's and plenty of no's. I had one guy say, Larry, here goes what I want you to do. Put on a pair of concrete shoes and jump off a bridge. I said, oh, that's savage. It wasn't in our manual how to overcome that objection. So I said, the first thing that came to mind, God bless you too. But being able to go through those experiences of failure, and keeping the enthusiasm, keeping the inner belief, it really drove me. And being able to share that with others to help them, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, Tony Robbins tells that story all the time, or used to, about Colonel Sanders going to a bunch of different places trying to sell the recipe, for his fried chicken. And it was like 95 no's before he got to a yes. That's like before noon on a Tuesday for software sales. So where do you translate that from your sales experience into what you're speaking about today? What lessons do you imbue to help teams get motivated and help improve their sales and revenue?
Yeah, so my core messages really revolve around energy. And I don't know if you can tell, but I bring a little bit. There's a reason why they call me the chief energy officer. If you don't have energy, if you don't have inner belief, if you don't have that drive to help people, to serve people, to find out what are their pains, what are their goals, their aspirations, then you're going to have a very tough time selling anything. If you don't care, you don't communicate, you're not committed, it's tough. So that's really where my message revolves. And it really starts with number one, personal development. You can't help other people if you haven't helped yourself, at least not in the long run, from my experience. You can kind of fake it till you make it in the short run, but to have long-term success, you've really got to be really good and solid internally. So I focus on personal growth, transition into professional growth, really making sure that you understand your why. You understand your purpose, your mission, your vision. What problem do you solve? And working with software sales teams, it's always changing, which I love. What worked yesterday probably won't work today. So are you making those adjustments? And when you talk about adjustments and being flexible, that's baseball. From one at bat to another, you've got to adapt. If you're used to hitting fastballs, well, now I'm going to give you curveballs. Can you adjust? It's the same thing in sales, which I love to share that message with sales professionals, and more importantly, sales leaders who are really their job is to help get the best and help their reps, their individual contributors progress their careers. So I absolutely love having that opportunity.
Well, how do you take that energy then? Because a lot of that is looking at yourself in the mirror, which obviously they need to do, but how do they take that to help benefit the customer? I think part of that translation can sometimes get lost. You build yourself up, but where do you close that gap for the people that you serve?
Yeah, well, that really comes down to once you take care of yourself, once you get your oxygen on, now you can start to serve. And in order to serve, it comes down to questions. If you just go in, it's like going to the doctor and the doctor saying, hey, thanks, Shark. We're going to give you ankle surgery. Whoa, hold on. Wait a minute, doc. You haven't asked me any questions. It's my shoulder that's hurting. No, don't give me ankle surgery when you haven't even, you can't give me a diagnosis without asking the questions. So I encourage sales reps to do what's called a SOAP note. If you go to a doctor, they do a subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. So they ask you, why are you here today? Same thing in sales. Why are we talking? What's going on? Tell me a little bit about your situation. They do the objective. I've seen this before. Yeah, let me go ahead. They do an assessment. Let's go ahead and do an X-ray, an MRI. Let's take that tongue depressor. Let's go ahead and run the tests. And after I do the assessment, now I can do a plan. I can give you the prescription. Take 2 of these, Shark, and call me in the morning. Then we can do a follow-up to make sure that we were able to hit all of those pains, all of those ills. We can help you with your challenges. So that's really where the translation comes from. I take care of myself, then I find out how can I best address the issues, the challenges, the pains, the goals of my prospects and of my clients.
So how do you recommend go about sustaining that energy? Because it's one thing, especially in software sales, that cycle can be pretty long. It's not going up with the Colonel Sanders recipe to a financer or a restaurant and doing a quick, will you do this? Yes, no. Software sales can have a very long tail. Sustaining that energy can be really tough. What's your recommendation on how people can sustain that energy?
It's funny you ask. I've got a chapter in my book that's coming out in a few months called Motivation. Where do you find yours? Everyone's motivation is different. For me, Shark, mine comes from my family, my beautiful wife and my kids. Well, what about the sales rep that lives by themselves in an 800 square foot apartment? Where does their motivation comes from? So it's really individual on how you keep that energy up. I'll give you an example. One of the reps that I managed, essentially his motivation was being able to buy a house. That was his sole motivator. So it's, hey, Jake, the more people that you serve and the more people that you help, the faster and the quicker and the more likely you're going to be able to buy a house. So what I had is all of my reps wrote a business plan, personal and professional. Why are you doing what you do? It is tough. And if you don't have a solid why, guess what? When the going gets tough, it's tough to just give up, to just throw in the towel. But if you have a strong why, a strong motivation, for me, nothing gets stronger than my family. I'm going to run through every brick wall. I'm going to find a way over. I'm going to find a way around. I'm going to find a way under. And if I have to, I'm going to go ahead and put my hard head down. Boom, I'm going right through it. So it's really each individual has to find that right there. What's in your heart? The heart connects to the mind connects to the mouth connects to your actions. What do you do on a daily basis when you get all those no's? Survey says that. How do you fight on and press on?
We need to really figure out a way to get a Fitbit that works to track the movements you have while sitting down, Larry. You've gotten in more steps than anybody sitting in a seat for 20 minutes than I know. But in the words of the poet Billy Ocean, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So, you work with a lot of the teams that you speak to that you're doing sales motivation and leadership training. Where do you see what most leaders are not doing today that manage sales teams?
Yeah, my observation, a lot of sales, quote unquote, leaders, I use that term loosely, they're stuck in the spreadsheet. So they're looking at the deals and the deal flow. We're in the people game, Shark. You've got to do internal selling. And there's a saying, I think it's Sam McKenna, show me that you know me. I'm not going to run through a brick wall if you don't care about me. Shark, if you're my manager, you're my leader, but you don't know anything about me, I'm going to do it for myself, but I'm not going to run through any brick walls for you. A lot of leaders, from my observation, they're missing out on that human touch. Hey, Shark, how's your family doing? Hey, Shark, wow, you got 5 inches of snow. Yes, I know we got business. We got to keep the lights on. We got to keep the sales coming in, but I care about you as a person. For me, I had 3 goals, very simple. Number 1, hit targets. In sales, you have goals. I want to hit goals. Number 2, I want to make sure my reps are learning and growing. I want to make sure that it's kind of like that seed. They're getting water. They're getting sunlight. Sometimes I've got to roll up my sleeves and put down that funky fertilizer, the stinking manure, to make sure that they're growing. Number 3, have fun. If you're doing 1 and 2, if people are growing, they're getting challenged, they're learning something new, chances are they're going to be with you. They're going to be rocking and rolling, but you've got to show them that you care. My wife says, hey, baby, you tell me that you love me, but go ahead and show me. Go ahead and do those dishes. Go ahead and fold those clothes. Even though you don't fold them right, make the effort to show me that you care, because essentially talk is cheap. It's the same thing with sales leaders. Oh, I care about my reps. Well, when was the last time that you actually had a conversation with them about how they're feeling outside of the 4 walls or outside of the virtual walls? Tell me something about their family. Tell me something about what they're trying to accomplish professionally and personally. A lot of leaders, I don't know.
Well, so you manage reps. How would those reps describe you as a leader?
Oh, goodness gracious. I've got it right here. I don't know if you've ever done a brand exercise, but in the words of my reps, you can see the big word energy, competitive, energetic. And then there's also areas of opportunity.
So
Hey,
you put your
Larry,
is that your testimonials? You put just for people that aren't seeing this, but you put your testimonials in a word cloud.
it's a brand exercise where essentially what comes to mind when the word Larry Long Jr. presents to you. And we did this with one of our teams in London, as well as one of our American teams. And the words that are bigger are the words that were repeated more times than not. And it's just an excellent way. So you'll also see on here cares for the team's success, focused, efficient, commit. I mean, enthusiastic. It doesn't surprise you. But also what you'll see is, hey, Larry, calm down. My style doesn't work for everyone. So I've got to be flexible. There's some reps that don't appreciate the rah, rah, rah. And that's my style is rah, rah, rah. So when working with them, I've got to slow down. I've got to calm down. I've got to quiet down and talk to them on their level. I can't expect them to meet me on my level. I've got to make that change. So that's my coaching style.
You just got to once in a while switch you to decaf. So
I don't drink coffee. I'm a Kool-Aid kid. Ooh, I don't like the taste of coffee, believe it or not.
Oh, no. All right. Well, Larry, I asked this of all my guests. So I got to ask you, what is your favorite kind of shark and why?
Oh, good. It's got to be the hammerhead. Oh, wait. Just the uniqueness, the diversity, the differentiation of a hammerhead shark. Oh, they got the eyeball. I can see you. I love the hammerhead shark. Actually, I don't like any sharks because sharks like dark meat and I don't want to be a snack. But if I had to pick, it'd be the hammerhead.
Okay, I can't say that because I'd get canceled, but I was going to say that the Carolinas has some great shark diving, especially all the shipwrecks. They have a ton of sand tiger sharks that keep coming back to the shipwrecks. So great area. But anyway, well, Larry, it's that special time of the show. Are you ready for the 5 most interesting and important questions that you're going to be asked today?
I was born ready. Let's roll.
All right, buddy. Number 1, we'll start there. Handheld microphone or lavalier?
Oh goodness, it's got to be the lavalier. I got to be able to use my hands, even though don't let the 3 mics fool you. I like to use my hands, so anytime that I can go hands free, we're good to go.
Perfect. For those that didn't see that, Larry was holding up a golden microphone that I see him with in every picture. All right, number 2, because I know you love to golf and your goal is to hit every state. So number 2 is California's Pebble Beach or the Carolinas Pinehurst?
Oh, that's easy. Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach. I've already played Pinehurst, not number 2, but I've already been there, done that. I'm trying to get the Pebble. We're trying to take it to Pebble Beach now.
All right, number 3, because I know you love both, baseball or golf?
Oh, that's a tough one. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so tough. I'm gonna have to go with golf. Baseball, that was a past life. I'm Tiger Woods' cousin right now. Larry hit it in the woods. Boom.
All right, number 4, golf movies, The Legend of Bagger Vance or Caddyshack?
Easy peasy, Caddyshack. Oh, that movie that you're making me crack up just thinking about it.
One of the greatest movies of all time. All right, number 5, and the most important question that you're going to be asked today is biscuits or cornbread?
Oh goodness, that's too easy. I just had Bojangles yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Biscuits. Once we get done, I'm going down to get a biscuit with some cherry preserves on it.
Oh, yeah.
Biscuits all day, every day.
One of the greatest restaurants that people don't know about for fried chicken. Fantastic.
Ooh,
All right, Larry, where can people find out more about you, keep up with what you're doing, see your motivational minute on Instagram and LinkedIn and so forth and more?
I appreciate it. Best way to connect with me is on LinkedIn, Larry Long Jr. I got a smile for a mile, got the gold microphone, but you can also visit me on my website, www.larrylongjr.com. And that's a JR, the junior.
Awesome. Larry, thank you so much. Have a great day. And thank you for being with us today on A Shark's Perspective.
Thank you, Shark.
So there was my conversation with Larry Long Jr., a speaker, author, and the Chief Energy Officer of LLJR Enterprises. Let's take a look at 3 key takeaways from my conversation with him. First, great lesson in failure. It's something we all go through, but many aren't honest enough to admit it. I love everyone touting their success stories, but love whenever someone truly admits that they, like me, have failed at something and recovered. But again, a reminder, you've got to know the numbers. Keep moving forward and keep believing. Remember, though, that you'll never hit a home run if striking out is not a possibility as well. You just have to at least make an attempt to hit the ball. Second, what is your energy? Where does it come from with the audience you serve? In sales, you inherently have to have the desire to help others, not just yourself. That's truly missing from a lot of salespeople. Larry reminds us that you can't help other people without helping yourself first. So true. Definitely look inside so you can help others outside and know your purpose, your mission, your vision. It's great advice. And with that energy, it's just as important to stay motivated as it is to getting motivated in the first place. Identify what drives you, what truly drives you. What is the sustainable spark that you don't have to reignite? For him, it's his family. For me, it's my family as well. And whether you get 1 no or 1,000, it's in the words of Billy Ocean, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Trust me, friends, that it will get tougher, but you can plow through it, or for me at least, swim through it. Third, leaders lose their employees, including sales leaders, when they show that they don't care. We all know lots of people in sales who had bosses that made a difference, and often that's why they stay working for them, even across companies. Yes, you've absolutely got to hit your targets, and if they fail, then it may not be the right job for them. Show them the numbers, help them learn, and show you care about your reps as much as you do about the numbers. And measure this. If you look closely, then measure what others say about your leadership. Get stronger and better. This was something that was difficult for me in the past, managing reps, but eventually I learned and saw the numbers grow. Too often it becomes either one or the other, numbers versus care. But it should become an if-then. If you care, then it will help them to become more likely to succeed. Got a question? Send me an email to kenneth@asharksperspective.com. Thank you again for the privilege of your time. I'm so thankful to everyone who listens, and I ask that you please consider writing a review and letting me know your thoughts on the show. And another energy that I failed to mention is you. Not hundreds or thousands or anything more than just you. You listening today continues to give me energy, and I appreciate you so much for that. Please join us on the next episode of A Shark's Perspective.